If you're a parent that has exhausted all the options of the traditional medical system and have tried various natural remedies without any success, then this video right here and the exciting resources that we'll be sharing within it is made perfectly for you. Every single day, we sit down with parents who feel like they've been entirely dismissed and ignored by their pediatricians and the traditional medical system, only to watch their children not simply grow out of early life challenges like colic, constipation, chronic ear infections, and missed milestones. Today's parents, they're way more educated and informed than ever. And instead of really keeping up or working alongside parents, it seems like the conventional pediatrician's approach is to continue to belittle them. And for so many, just kick them out of their practice altogether if they don't get in line and do what they're told, which is to ignore all the chronic signs of illness brewing in kids or just stuff it down with more drugs, medications, and surgeries. In this video, and with a brand new incredible podcast, we're about to finally reveal to parents and worldwide what's really causing their child's chronic health issues. We'll help you finally uncover the hidden sequence of stress, physical injury, and those exposures to toxins that happened so early in those critical and sensitive periods of development that still continue to be overlooked and totally dismissed by the conventional healthcare systems. We refer to these early stressors that disrupt the development of the gut, the brain, the immune system, and so much more as the perfect storm. We call it the perfect storm. And when parents finally realize that the real root cause of their child's chronic health issues began way earlier than anyone ever told them and stem from things way beyond bad genetics or even gluten and dairy sensitivities, they can finally get not just the answers and the explanations they deserve, but the drug-free solutions and action steps that they need to help their child heal naturally and reach their full potential. So this video is specifically designed for you, for parents who are tired of not only being dismissed by the traditional medical system, but have already tried every single diet change, detox, vitamin, supplement, essential oil, and integrative therapy out there, but still see their children struggle with their health each and every day. Parents will finally get the answers they've been searching for all along with a like-minded community through what's called the Experience Miracles podcast. These stats absolutely drive me nuts, but help me to get up every single morning and pour into our community of parents and kids because it's got to change. Chronic health challenges. Approximately 27% of children in the US, which is 22 million children, they have chronic health challenges. ADHD. Around 9.4% of children ages 2 to 17, which means that about 6.1 million children have this. Autism spectrum disorder. Approximately 1 in 36 children in the US, and it's far higher in boys. And it's projected to soon be millions of kids will be diagnosed with autism every single year on repeat for years to come. That one just makes me sick thinking and reading about it. Anxiety disorders. Anxiety disorders affect approximately 7.1% of children aged 3 to 17 in the US, which is about 44 million children, with a massive uptick since 2010 and 2012 when smartphones and social media became more accessible. Learning disorders. Prevalence estimates that learning disorders vary, but if we take a conservative estimate of 5%, that suggests that 3.2 million kids have a learning disorder. Sensory processing disorder. This estimates and suggests that it affects approximately 5 to 16% of children. So even if you took like that 10%, that mid-range, it suggests that 6.5 million children are affected by SPD. Asthma affects 8.3% of children in the US, which means about 5.4 million kids. Allergies, including food allergies and environmental allergies, affect 8% of kids. That means about 5.2 million kids. And autoimmune diseases. It's estimated that around 3 to 5% of children in the US have an autoimmune condition, which if you took that middle 4%, it means that 2.6 million children have an autoimmune disease, which is sickening to think about. So let's dive into the 3 most overlooked perfect storm triggers of this chronic illness that kids are experiencing today. Now, the perfect storm, it's referred to as a combination or a sequence of early life stressors that can lead to chronic health issues in children that are entirely missed and entirely overlooked, not just by conventional pediatricians and doctors, but by pretty much every practitioner out there, and that needs to change. Even natural health and integrative practitioners blame toxins almost exclusively and completely miss the role that exposures in both emotional stress and physical trauma during the birth process and how it plays into the development of chronic disease in kids. Now, it often starts with prenatal stress, which can hardwire a developing baby's nervous system for stress and anxiety. How does it do that? Well, the umbilical cord acts as an electrical power cord. It transmits those stress hormones from mom to baby. Up next, you've got things like birth intervention, like C-sections, forceps, and vacuum extraction that can cause physical trauma to the delicate upper neck and brainstem, leading to neurologic dysfunction and subluxations. And finally, now it's the overuse of antibiotics and the constant bombardment of toxins early and often in a child's life that lead to that disruption of that gut microbiome, a rampant inflammation, and all sorts of additional issues that then need to be addressed. If this is landing for you, you have got to hear the Experience Miracles podcast. The Experience Miracles podcast is a group of doctors with decades of experience living behind the walls of the incomplete healthcare system, and they will take the time to introduce and explain to parents an entire set of wildly important terms and concepts that no other doctor in the conventional healthcare space are talking about, but absolutely holds the keys to exactly what you're looking for: safe, effective, natural, drug-free healing and care options for your entire family. On each and every episode, what we'll do is we'll break down things like vagus nerve dysfunction, nervous system dysregulation, dysautonomia, subluxation, sympathetic dominance, and so much more. And we'll introduce the incredible technologies and the neurologic healing options like HRV, neurotonal chiropractic adjustments, and so much more. And as far as what to expect, within the first 10 minutes of tuning into the Experience Miracles podcast, you'll quickly hear that the host and world-renowned pediatric health expert, Dr. Tony Ebel, he was made for this job. Dr. Tony, he can break down the science, the neurology of chronic illness in kids in a way that no one else can. He makes it not just simple and easy to understand, but actually entertaining and engaging all along the way. You know, he addresses chronic health illnesses in kids and takes on the toughest questions, not just from a doctor and health expert angle, but as a dad and a parent angle too. Dr. Tony, he's a father of 4 kids, including his own perfect storm and miracle son, Oliver. You'll gain access to a doctor truly called and crafted to help transform your family's entire life. So check out the podcast. You know, I want you to hear what one of the moms said about the podcast. I've learned an immense amount from this podcast, and I look forward to every new episode release. Dr. Tony explains neurologic concepts in a simple and entertaining way while also helping me to connect the dots and answers that no one else has been able to do for my kids. If you're ready to finally get the hope, the answers, explanation, and the drug-free health options that you have long been searching for, then you have got to hit the link below or head to the link in our bio and immediately subscribe to download the latest episode of the Experience Miracles podcast with Dr. Tony Ebel. Not only does Dr. Tony dive deep into all things autism, ADHD, anxiety, seizures, sensory issues in kids, and the latest neuroscience around vagus nerve, dysautonomia, and the nervous system dysregulation, but we also help bring the world's top pediatric natural health experts like Dr. Josh Axe, Dr. Ash, and so many more for an in-depth interviews that will arm you with both practical take-home action steps that will then transform your family's health without drugs and medication. Don't wait another day to start your child's journey towards optimal health and well-being. Just click the link to subscribe to the Experience Miracles podcast now and really take the first steps towards transforming your child's life.